Hey, what's going on, you guys? Jay here, and welcome back to the channel. The fear and greed index is sitting at 73. I'm feeling very bullish at the moment, and honestly, I'm seeing absolutely crazy signs in the market, even to the point of where Solana isn't just a crypto, they're now saying it's a trending baby name in 2025. Which is actually not unheard of. There's a lot of people out there that named their children after the lunar ecosystem because of how much money they made. So it's not unusual to see this happen. It just really shows us that Solana is being broadly adopted. And it's really something to think about. It's something to take into account, because if you're part of a blockchain, right, that's really what you want to see as an end result. You want to see people naming their children after the ecosystem that you're part of. It's a very proud thing if you think about it. Now, the Coinbase CEO is stating that crypto is about to be in everybody's 401k. This is overly bullish, you guys. This is essentially that broader adoption that I've spoken about for a considerable amount of time, regulation coming in thick, coming in fast. Although there is some regulatory uncertainty at the moment with the Genius Stablecoin Act, we're going to be doing a video on that later today, so keep an eye out for it. I'll get you guys up to speed on what is relevant, what's current, and what's going on at the moment. That regulatory scope is going to be coming in, but we definitely have some time to play around. There's going to be a grace period, if you will. We actually saw this with the MiCA regulations coming in, I think in early 2023. I want to say it was spoken about during 2022, and then it didn't go fully fledged until very recently, as we saw a lot of stable coins getting delisted. But again, guys, this is so bullish. This is something that's putting a smile on my face. I want to see crypto in everybody's 401k. Now, guys, we are all part of the Lunar Classic community, and if you're not using LUNC Dash, use and utilize it. It's available on Android. It's available on iOS. You can stake, you can store, you can do absolutely everything you need to do on the fly. If you're still using Station Mobile, my advice is, and I don't normally give advice, move over to LUNC Dash, move to something, anything but Terra Station. We don't know who's behind it anymore. We don't know who's maintaining it. We do not know the mindset of that person. And yes, it's an intricate piece of technology that could essentially have an upgrade, and it could start to snipe everything that's going on, that's being fed through. It could start to gather different parts of the data packets, and essentially you could see a broader attack on the ecosystem through somewhere that is essentially a critical part of our infrastructure, and it would create a vulnerability. The more people that move over now, the better it's going to be for the indefinite future. And again, it's all about securing your assets. It's about keeping safe and stable. I'm seeing a lot of different people who are getting their wallets hacked. They do not know how they got hacked. They swear they didn't give their seed phrases out. We simply do not know. Now, today, the TFL team have put out another announcement. They've been putting out a few of these, and a lot of you are sat there going, this is not really that bullish. It's not really relevant to us, but it is. If you take a step back and you think about it, and you look at the run up leading to this wind down that we saw with the liquidation, the process that we went through, seeing all of the burning going through. I was explaining to everybody through the court documents that we could in fact go ahead, burn that USTC. They were going to burn it anyway. A lot of people disagreed, but we did in fact see the commitment, the burning of those assets. So with that being said, right, it's not in the realms of uncertainty. It's not in the realms of weirdness. It's not in this sort of tinfoil hat conspiracy area. This is something that truly could happen. Now, the reminder is the deadline to file the crypto loss claims with the Terraform Labs PTE Limited Wind Down Trust is May 16th, 2025 at 11:59 p.m. Creditors must file their eligible crypto loss claims via the claims.terra.money by this date. Late submissions will not be accepted. For full details, if you are wanting to make a claim, this is definitely the time to do it. There's all of the information you'll need here. I'll leave links to this in the description, but let's push forward with this video. Now, the reason why this is very bullish is because I've been monitoring the court documents from top to bottom. As you guys know, I probably have some of the most comprehensive data when it comes down to wallets that TFL owned, the assets, the amount that they held, and even the intricacies of the civil case, if you will, the winding down of TFL. And throughout all of these court documents, throughout everything that I've read, everything that's current right now, all of these up-to-date documents, and the latest one being filed just here, May 8th. And there is not one mention anywhere of what's supposed to happen with the LFG BTC. And this is around 313 BTC in total. And it's a question that many of you are asking at the moment. And a lot of you are saying, why haven't they liquidated yet? Why have they not done anything with this? Is this going to go towards the claimants? Is this going to be liquidated? Is this going to be part of that heat map that's going to be used to make broken holders hopefully whole again? And something that, again, we don't have any clarity on in any of those court documents, in even the final judgment, is what's supposed to happen with that 313 BTC. Now, something we need to understand when discussing a topic like this is any other similar historical accounts that relate to this current situation. And what I actually look at is the Avalanche Foundation when they put forward the proposition to buy back nearly 2 million AVAX sold to Terra in 2022. And this was part of the LFG reserves. And as an end result, it was just given back to Avalanche. They didn't charge them for it. It was simply handed back to them because they went through a legal direct route. So when we go and we look at the LFG reserves, yes, there is 313 BTC in there and there's nothing else remaining. We did see the SEC commit to burning 1.86 billion USTC. Again, this is something that's actually heavily underestimated in our ecosystem. And I think before long, we're going to see a big move upwards. That is going to have some kind of effect in the future. And from everything that I know about burning, from the actual factual basis, looking at the data, it takes time. SHIB has really shown us the long-term effect that burning has. And if we are in ourselves to remain bullish, it's going to have a drastic effect on the price and hopefully going upwards. So getting back on topic and really thinking about this 313 BTC, we could actually hire a legal representative. And I'm not talking about a group that's made up from validators on chain. I'm talking about someone external from our ecosystem, someone that could micromanage the legal side of this and then actually maybe possibly act as a beneficiary, some kind of agent that could perform a swap, that could in some way, shape, or form, perform a load of purchases in a smart dollar cost average mindset. And something else that a lot of people probably don't understand with this 313 BTC is the SEC would likely sell this in the same way that you would probably sell your bag. They would sell it in portions. They wouldn't just sell the entirety of this thing. Now, the bar date's really setting in now, and we're really walking up to this eventuality that we've been waiting for a considerable amount of time, which is where the court case actually ends, the money is paid, and then at that point, we'll likely find out if this BTC is going to be liquidated. Now, from my perspective, I do truly believe that nothing is going to happen to this BTC because as per the final judgment, and we can bring it up on screen now, it's a situation where a lot of the funds that DK had and TFL had were handed over as per the final judgment. The reason why TFL burned all of the assets in the shuttle bridge was because of the final judgment. These were all of the terms that were put in place. And yes, DK handed over a considerable amount of BTC. Now, with all of this being said, we need to understand we should focus on the fact that AVAX themselves as a blockchain were able to get their funds back out of the LFG reserve. What is stopping us as an ecosystem, that has a substantial community pool worth, I think, around $250,000, What's stopping us from hiring a legal representative? Nothing. Just in the same way that nothing is preventing any of these validators from banding together and attempting to drain the community pool. In the same way, it did not prevent them from creating this sub-DAO where they could micromanage draining payments from the community pool. So there's, again, nothing preventing this ecosystem from really getting together and saying to ourselves, right, what we should do is hire a legal representative. This should be his monthly paycheck or his monthly salary. Let's get out there. let's find someone, let's vote it through governance, and they can apply for their monthly salary paycheck each and every month from the community pool. And that can really start to grease the gears, if you will, and it can really put this whole thing into the scope of reality, let's say. I'm using that word a lot right now, but this is truly something that we have control over, you guys. And I don't like to do these really long-winded videos, but I think this is underestimated. I think a lot of people underestimate the power that our ecosystem has and the claim that we actually have over the LFG reserves. The reserves themselves were deemed part of the Terraform crypto assets package, and that was the final judgment in itself. That was the entirety of it. And nothing, okay, has happened with this. Everything else is done. It's done, it's dusted. But what do you guys think? Do you think this 313 BTC is going to be used, right, to make claimants whole? Or do you think that in some crazy reality, we could see that BTC come back to our ecosystem? And again, from my perspective, you would want to really do it in an intelligent way. You wouldn't want to just sell the entirety of the 313 BTC. We could, in fact, right, move that BTC. If we did manage to take control of it as an ecosystem, it could go into some kind of treasury, some kind of newer LFG foundation, because we should, as an ecosystem, have reserves that we can tap into in a decentralized manner. This would make a huge difference in our ecosystem, and there is a lot of things out there where we think it's going to make a huge difference, and sometimes it doesn't. But this is truly something that I think would turn the tables. But let me know what you guys think. Look, aside that, just stay safe, stay humble, stay aware. I'm gonna catch you in the next one.